How often should you really be changing engine oil? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner. Now, as a consultant, I work with mechanics to help consumers resolve their car repair issues with dealers. And recently I decided to conduct a survey on a dozen reputable master mechanics that I work with in the industry to find out what they really think about modern cars, modern engine oil, and what the best oil change interval is for long engine life. So let's cut straight to the chase. There were a few questions in the survey, but the main one, of course, was what is the appropriate, reasonable interval to change the engine oil on a modern vehicle? And there was consensus from all the mechanics who participated in the survey that the best oil change interval is every 5,000 to 6,000 miles or every 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers. Now, for older cars that use regular mineral-based oil, they still recommend changing the engine oil roughly every 3,000 miles or 5,000 kilometers. But for the vast majority of modern cars that now use synthetic oil, you can go with a longer oil change interval. Every 5,000 to 6,000 miles or every 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers is perfectly fine. And as for time, the mechanics were also in agreement that if you do not drive around 5,000 miles or 8,000 kilometers per year, then performing an oil change once per year is perfectly adequate. There's no need to do an oil change every 3 months or every 6 months if you don't reach that mileage, because oil simply does not degrade that quickly, and all you're really doing is throwing money and throwing perfectly good oil down the drain. So if you don't drive at least 5,000 miles or 8,000 kilometers per year, then changing the engine oil once per year is perfectly sufficient. Now, of course, this recommendation does conflict with the recommendations from most car manufacturers. If you were to read the owner's manual for your vehicle, you would likely find that the manufacturer recommended oil change interval can be upwards of 10 to 12,000 miles or every 15 to 20,000 kilometers, which is a very long time to go between oil changes. So why exactly is this the case? Why are so many car manufacturers recommending such long oil change intervals? Well, there are many reasons for this, and there seems to be a belief that many car manufacturers simply don't want vehicles to last that long. Once the vehicle is past the warranty, it's really not their problem anymore. So if the car were to fail and have an engine failure, well, that just means you're going to have to buy a new vehicle, which allows car manufacturers to just keep on selling vehicles. Now, there could be a certain unspoken truth to this, but it's not exactly the official reason why car manufacturers have long oil change intervals these days. It really comes down to a few things. Number one, pressure from governments to reduce chemical pollution and improve the environmental footprint. And one easy way to do that is to simply reduce the amount of chemicals or oil pollution that's created by stretching oil change intervals, as well as stretching or eliminating fluid changes altogether. Another reason, in addition to improving the environmental footprint and reducing chemical pollution and reducing emissions, car manufacturers have improved technology to the point where engines can go longer between oil changes. And oil technology has also dramatically improved, where oil does last longer than it has in the past. Another reason why manufacturers are stretching oil change intervals and stretching service intervals in general is to reduce the perceived maintenance costs of vehicles. Cars, of course, are becoming very expensive to service. So what's one easy way to make them less expensive and more marketable? Well, simply eliminate services or just stretch the intervals to reduce the costs, at least the perceived costs. Now, all of this is fine, but it does not help you as a consumer or a vehicle owner who wants to keep their car as long as possible and keep it in top-notch condition, which is why you need to follow a reasonable, common sense maintenance schedule and change engine oil at a reasonable interval, which is what most of the mechanics in the survey recommend. Now, the second question of the mechanics survey was, Does the type of engine oil matter? The brand of oil, and of course, the viscosity of oil. There's a huge debate online over whether car manufacturers are reducing the viscosity of engine oil in an effort to reduce emissions, improve efficiency, but at the cost of engine reliability. Many car manufacturers are now recommending incredibly thin engine oil, again, to improve efficiency and reduce emissions, to the point where 20 weight, 16 weight, and sometimes even 8 weight engine oil has now become the norm. Which of course raises the concern, is using incredibly thin engine oil damaging to the car's engine, at least in the long run? And can it potentially reduce engine reliability? Well, the mechanics from the survey would not jump to the conclusion that you should just switch to a heavier weight oil. They still recommend that you follow the manufacturer recommended oil weight. The other part of this question is, does it really make much of a difference which brand of engine oil you use? Now, of course, there are many different oil brands out there. Some of them are advertised or marketed as being a lot better than others or lasting longer than others. And the mechanics from the survey didn't seem to think that it really makes a huge difference which oil brand you go with. It's far more important just to change the engine oil, period, at a reasonable interval. So don't put too much energy into picking and choosing which brand of oil to go with, because it doesn't make a meaningful difference in the end. Now, the next question of the survey has to do with oil additives and fuel system cleaners. Is it a good idea to use any type of oil additive or fuel system cleaner in your vehicle? And again, this is another area where most of the mechanics of the survey didn't seem to have a lot of faith or confidence in these types of products, at least in terms of doing much, if anything, to improve the reliability or extend the lifetime of the engine. Now, there could be a time and place for using a fuel system cleaner, especially for certain types of vehicles. But the problem is that the majority of modern vehicles have now switched to direct fuel injection. And the problem with direct injection is that a fuel system cleaner is not going to do anything whatsoever. With a traditional port-injected engine, the fuel-air mixture sprays over the intake valves of the engine, which creates a cleaning effect, which means if you do get some kind of carbon buildup on the engine intake valves, if you were to use a fuel system cleaner, that cleaner would spray over the valves, helping them to be cleaner and improve the drivability of the vehicle. You don't get that same benefit, however, with a direct injection engine, because the fuel air mixture is sprayed directly into the cylinder, bypassing the intake valves, which means if you have carbon buildup on the valves, using a cleaner is not going to do anything. If you have a vehicle with direct fuel injection that's experiencing carbon buildup and any kind of drivability problems as a result, the mechanics all agreed that the best solution to that is not to use a fuel system cleaner. You have to perform an intake valve cleaning procedure, which typically requires doing walnut shell blasting, opening up the engine and blasting the intake valves to clean them properly. And that's really the only proper way to address the issue. Now, moving on to the next question of the survey, which was, does it make more sense to service and maintain your car at an independent repair shop or a dealership? And all of the mechanics from the survey agreed that going to an independent repair shop does make the most sense. Now, of course, there's going to be a bias with this question because all of these master mechanics do own their own repair shops, but I do have to agree with their conclusion for a few reasons. Now, I do think there is a time and place for taking your car to a dealership, especially if you have a newer car that's still under the original warranty. Because when you go to a dealership, you're building a relationship with that dealer, making things much easier to get issues addressed when you do have a problem. It also makes things much easier when submitting warranty claims. If you've been taking your car to the dealership under warranty, if you do have a major warranty issue, such as, say, an engine failure, well, the manufacturer won't be able to deny a warranty claim if you've been taking your car to the dealership. You're basically eliminating any chance of an excuse to deny a warranty claim. Now, you can still maintain your car at an independent repair shop and keep all of your receipts. But the point is that it just makes things easier when you go to the dealer, at least for the first few years. But beyond that point, no question, taking your car to an independent repair shop does make the most sense because it's going to be a lot less expensive to get repairs done. You'll save a lot of money, and as long as the shop is using the correct parts, the correct fluids, and has all the right tools, there's just no problem with that whatsoever. Now, there is one more option that you can of course consider, and that's doing maintenance and performing your own service at home. Now, I don't believe this is a good idea to do with a newer car that's under warranty, because in many areas, including in Canada, doing your own oil changes or your own maintenance in general will not be considered as documented service if you were to have a warranty issue. So if, say, your engine were to have a complete engine failure and you've been doing all your own oil changes, well, the car manufacturer is going to absolutely reject the warranty claim because you do not have any documentation that the oil changes were being performed on time according to the maintenance schedule by a professional who knows what they're doing. Now, I know this is not the case in many parts of the US where you can do your own oil changes and keep all of your receipts, but that's not going to work everywhere and certainly not going to work in Canada. And all of the mechanics from the survey agree. Do not perform your own maintenance and oil changes with a newer vehicle that is under warranty. But once that vehicle is out of warranty, at that point you can do whatever you like. If you want to do your own maintenance, if you have the time and expertise, or if you just want to save some money, of course you can take the car to an independent repair shop versus the dealership. So that pretty much covers everything to do with oil changes. For the next video, we're going to continue this discussion and go through all the other maintenance items that need to be done on a vehicle and what the mechanics from the survey recommend for the rest of it. So in the meantime, if you enjoyed and got value out of this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that hype button as well. And if you're planning to purchase a vehicle and live in Ontario, know that OMVIC is the vehicle sales regulator responsible for administering and enforcing the rules that dealers must follow. To learn more about your consumer protection rights, visit omvic.ca. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.